Hello everybody. It is Monday, April 24th, 2021, and it's a little overcast and chilly here in the DC area after having about 4 or 5 days of a interesting heat wave where it got so hot and so humid so fast that it was a little sluggish. Although I couldn't be sluggish because I'm still in the middle of moving, so did a little sweating. So it's kind of nice to welcome this chilly weather in here right now. So that's really how the energies are running. You know, they're like the temperature. They can go up, they can go down, they can go all around. They're like the wind. It can be no breeze, little breeze, beautiful slight breeze, to a monsoon of a breeze. So while these energies are going all over the place, and especially this month when we've had planets in retrograde, we've had eclipses, you know, a lot of stuff going on. And in that going on, it's bringing up a lot of our own memories that sort of appear in as if we're looking at something outside of ourselves. So there's a variety of ways they've been coming through for me. And that is in faces that I see, eyes closed, eyes open. It can be a thought or a feeling that invokes something. And last night is the second time this month that I've had what I would call extremely overstimulated before I was trying to go to sleep because of physical exertion, and then the mental exertion because of all the energies, chatter, 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 chatter. And it's not even so much chatter as it is faces, like I'm watching a movie with my eyes closed and I can't dim it, I can't turn it off, there's no volume, and it's insane. And it makes for your nervous system to want to fire a lot, so then you're just not sleeping. So that's the second time this month that occurred. The first time that it occurred, the second night, I called my almighty presence and I said, I'm closing the mental and ascended channels. No energy, persons, thing, being, whatever may enter without my permission. And I've actually been able to catch a few hours of sleep, which has been fantastic. But no matter what I did last night, it was not going to stop. It just wasn't. I had my night mask on, I put my pillow over my head. It was nothing. And they were coming in and they looked a little distorted than I've seen them before, a little bit distant. And I kept getting, underlying what? And I called in Archangel Michael and I said, I joined my sword and let's get this out of here. I've got to sleep. No one's listening. Because it made my mind think of a moment of not so much fear as it triggered who the heck's getting in after all? I'm putting up all these barriers and this protection. Who's got the nerve to come in here like after all that? So I was questioning maybe my intention of my closing off everything. What, did I leave something open? But anyway, that happens when you can't sleep. Your mind starts to So then I went ahead and I messaged a healer friend of mine, told her what I was seeing, and she clearly said it was shadow aspects of myself, and they were clearly deep and being brought up to be cleared. And she encouraged me to dialogue with them. I'm in no hurry to dialogue with them because I want to sleep, because sleep is a treasure to me. It just when you've got sleep disorders, when you can get it, it's such a difference. So anyway, I had to embrace that. So I'm willing to dialogue with them, even if it's in meditation. But I just don't want to go through more nights like that. So I'm going to have to face it. Now, when we talk about shadows and all these things that everyone's been talking about for a very long time that need to to be done in order to be cleared. You know, it doesn't have to be difficult. It truly doesn't have to be labor intensive, and it doesn't have to stir up a drama story that you can share with everyone. It's really an interpersonal thing of all different lifetimes that you've designed to come up and to clear. So it's not a chore. The chore is the fact that once you accept that you brought it in and designed for it to come up at this time, it's no longer a chore. The chore is when you dramatize it, okay? And you get into the human ego and you start, you know, dealing with it from there, when it really needs to be dealt with from a higher consciousness through the heart. All right? So let's breathe on that, shall we? So we know that there's layers of things. I think if I hear it's like peeling an onion layer after layer, I'm just going to throw up on that analogy, because everybody knows onions have layers. But many other things have layers that aren't as prominent as, say, an onion. So for those of you who don't like onions, let's not use that analogy, shall we? They're layers of stuff. Decades, yearly things, lifetimes of things that we bring forth, and they all need to be cleared. So it's like putting on weighted blankets and carrying them around no matter what the temperature is outside. It creates for heaviness around the physical and energetic body. Those are what have to be cleared. So it doesn't necessarily have to be something that's traumatizing. And don't get traumatized just thinking it's going to be traumatizing getting into it, because you ask for ease and grace to show you what needs to come up. Ask your DNA cellular memory of your software system that is in you, that you designed with your creators. Ask where to hit the key. What key do I need to hit in the software system to open this up for me? And be still with it. Set your intention each day for devotional time to spend with that, and let what comes up comes up. It's just going to do that. It doesn't have to have rhyme or reason. It could just show you a face and give you a feeling. It could just show you a face and you're like, thank you, and you just keep going like you're in a cartoon movie. Yep, just keep the slides going, right? If you know that you are in need of a garden, you don't pick the toughest part of the yard to place the garden. You look at the yard, you look at where the sun comes up, where it goes down, you look at how is the soil, etc., before you decide where to plant the garden. But before you can plant, you've got to dig up stuff. So some things will die along the way, weeds, grass, so on. Things will be disturbed and moved around in that soil that has been undisturbed for a period of time. So if you have the climate where your yard is very dry, there's no water, are you going to go out there and start to shovel? No, because it's going to feel like cement, right? You're going to do something layer after layer to get to where you need to be. You may have to water it for quite some time in order to soften it up and begin to remove layer after layer. Because not everybody's got a bulldozer to come in there, but you still got to go a little deeper. So we're talking about this like from a gardening aspect, and using gardening tools. It just seems pretty simple, and that's just the picture they showed me, so I'm just going to go with it. So you prepare the yard after you've picked the spot and designed where you want it based on sun, the elements, etc. And then now how do you prepare the actual bed, the garden bed, in the best way that's not going to create you harm, physical harm or harm to anything else in the yard? So if you have a super hard, not a lot of moisture, your ground's going to be super tough, and you wouldn't do this in the middle of an icy winter, right? And nor would you want to run a rototiller over a rock bed. You know, those things would be like, what am I doing? So when you're doing shadow work or just bringing up memories, I like just to call it, we're just surfacing. We're just surfacing, you know? We're bringing stuff up, sifting, releasing. Bringing stuff up, sifting, releasing. It's the same thing you're doing when you're about to prepare to build a garden. So look at yourself as this amazing garden that can have a variety of different plants and food sources and beauty all within one postage stamp, basically. That's basically what your body is. So it has stored a lot of things, and it's time. It's time to get the surface off, and then it's time to go down a level. It's time to go down another level. It's time to go down another level, and to go down another level. Now, I don't know if these levels ever end, honestly, because you collect a lot of data in every lifetime. And, you know, when you're over on the other side, you're collecting a lot of data and learning and sifting and redesigning. But you do the ones that come up. You do the ones that come up in that moment, in that day, in that now that you've set your intention and devoted time to maybe go through it. You just keep going. Then you'll have a rest and a lull period. Then you'll go another layer and a rest and a lull period. So I've done a lot of that. And for me, I look at everything as a lesson. It's data. There is absolutely no label on it. It's simply collecting data. And some data you'll keep, some data you'll store, some data you'll get it the heck out of there. So a lot of this is just recognizing it. It's a simple recognition that there are layers, and just see how they unfold and present to you. And, you know, if it presents and it's a little scary, just breathe, literally breathe through it. If it presents and creates heart palpitations or, you know, pain in the body, breathe through it. Don't give up and say this is just too much damn work, because you know in the end there's going to be so much beauty, because you're really, what you're doing is you're bringing up the authentic you that has been covered by many layers in many lifetimes, by many systems. It's all you need to know. Don't try to get in there in the left brain and make sense of it, because you'll never get through all the data. You just won't in this lifetime. So be willing just to let things surface and sift, surface and sift, surface and sift. And allow what comes up in the process of which it's coming up. Now, I know sometimes people don't want to feel the pain of certain things that may come up. But remember, those pains can't hurt you. They can't unless you allow them to continue to grow in power. The thing is that you're bringing them up to the surface to deparalyze them, to depower them, to give them nothing over you, consciously or subconsciously. It's pretty much that simple. So don't get all drama with it. Just let it go. Ooh, it's coming out. Ooh, let it go. I want to go into this. I want to go into this. You know, devoted time right now to do this. I'm going to go into it. I'm going to feel it. You might have to move your body around. Lots of times I'll get pain in my body and I've got to move it, you know? So you don't just sit there all rigid. So you got to feel it to heal it. Yeah. And feeling it could be like, whoop, just saw a quick picture. Okay, bye. And then it might be a longer stand. You're like, oh, you just have to, okay. And then instead of getting analytical about it, get feelings with it. Like, okay, well, that brought up this. All right, let's go. Do I need to go any further into that, or are you just letting me know? Okay, you're just letting me know. Okay, I'm going to sift you off. Thank you. Love you, forgiveness, love, whatever you choose to want to say. I always figure it out in the moment. I never have anything pre-designed, just like these videos. I don't have anything pre-designed. I I open the window of the camera and Spirit is telling me, use your words and we'll give you pictures and just figure this all out. That's pretty much what they're doing. But I did write a couple things down. So we already know energy, emotions. So I don't like to call them shadows. They're just part of who you are, wherever the lighting is, okay? They're called shadows because maybe you didn't realize that there wasn't enough lighting on there and you've been carting that around for a long time. So you call it whatever you want. It's just you. It's all the yous of yous that have ever been, okay, up until now, all right? So feeling it to heal it, and you know, the deepest feelings bring the most deep releases. Well, we all know that's true, all right? And so bringing deeper levels up creates deeper levels of healing. So isn't that what you want? You want to be healed, you want to be whole. You don't want to be told how you were to believe, react, subconsciously adapt to the enslavement of what's acceptable and what's not. Just knowing that you're going through this is the oneness, and you'll begin to feel it. Journal it, make notes, and just, you'll get the ahas through it. And even if you don't understand it, at some point you'll realize that in doing this, you're bringing back the fragments of your true self that have been scattered and shattered, splattered everywhere for so long. You're bringing them back in. And you may not consciously know you just brought it back in, but maybe a week later you're like, you know, I feel more solid. And the information that's flowing through, I sound smart. You know, stuff like that. That in and of itself helps you feel more grounded and fuller within your physical body. And with all this light coming in, sometimes we can feel like we're 20 pounds heavier one day and 20 pounds later the next day. And yeah, I understand that. Just know that you're filtering light. That's all. That's all. Just, ooh, I took a lot in yesterday. So you want to do the movement, you know, get your body moving, get your mental moving, get the visuals going. The biggest thing is get the heart, the feelings of everything that you're rototillery through. It's all good. Each layer is super important. Whether you remember any of it or not, it's super important. And just be at grace with it. Just be at grace with it all, because it's all you. And each time, you'll get your glow on. You will get your glow on. Trust me. All right? If you need any more information, my email's in there.